A man is behind bars in connection to a domestic shooting in Chesterfield. You're watching 8 News at 11. I'm Heather Hope. Eric Phillips has the night off. Police responded to Branding Iron Road just before 8 o'clock that evening. They say they found a woman shot. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Daquan Rouse is facing several charges and is being held without bond. This case is still under investigation. It comes after multiple domestic violence incidents across Central Virginia and the Commonwealth, including the death of 2 Richmond teenagers and a Chesterfield mother. A new state law establishing paid family and medical leave goes a step further to support employees dealing with domestic violence. Advocates say this could help survivors seek safety without fear of losing their paycheck or their job. 8 News reporter Danelle Dukin is live in our studio with the details on this. Danelle.
Well, Heather, we know Virginia is the first southern state to create a paid family and medical leave program. Tonight, we're learning that program also expands eligibility to include paid leave for employees seeking support because of domestic violence. For many survivors of domestic violence, leaving an abusive situation can be a major financial decision.
It is so common that a survivor would have to miss work to deal with domestic violence or stalking issue.
Advocates like Rupa Morthy of the YWCA Richmond say missing work to go to court or find safe housing can put survivors at risk of losing income they depend on. But a new family and medical leave law aims to address this hurdle. On Monday, Governor Abigail Spanberger signed the landmark legislation, making way for eligible workers to take up to 3 months of paid leave starting December 2028.
This kind of really levels the playing field, allows employers to be supportive of their employee who's going through what could arguably be the worst scenario in their life. And it gives comfort to the survivor knowing that that job will be there, the pay, and that they'll still be able to support their family and their children.
The law also includes 1 month of paid leave for workers seeking safety services. This is defined as legal help, medical care, victim support services, or relocation for those fleeing domestic violence or other abusive behaviors.
Survivors are going to have a new way to ensure that they not only survive on their darkest day, in their darkest moments, but also can thrive again in our community.
Advocates believe the law would encourage more people to seek help, but say additional resources are still needed to further support survivors. Mary Mopay, interim director of Safe Harbor, says its emergency shelter is consistently full. The YWCA also reporting a 25% increase in survivors at its shelter this year.
We need more counselors, we need more beds, we need more agencies that are providing these services. And we need to be creative too about how we're reaching out and connecting with these survivors.
The Virginia Employment Commission will run the program, which is now in the development phase. Live in studio, Danelle Dukin, 8 News.
Danelle, thanks. And we want to hear from you. If you or someone you know needs help, there are several local organizations dedicated to helping domestic violence victims. Those include Safe Harbor in Richmond, Hanover Safe Place in Ashland, Powhatan Goochland Domestic Violence Program, YWCA Chesterfield Center, and Madeline's House in Farmville. You can find more resources on our website, WRIC.com. A crime alert now. Deputies are investigating what led to a man being shot in Louisa this morning. The sheriff's office says earlier today a woman arrived to the sheriff's office with her husband who had been shot. The woman says she has picked up her husband near Fredericks Hall Road and didn't know where else he had been. As the man was treated, deputies received calls for a suspicious vehicle on Micah Road. Deputies then determined the car that was left running with the door open was connected to the man shot. As this investigation continues, deputies are asking anyone with information about this incident to give them a call.
Ultimately, RPS and their leadership and their school board need to decide on how they prioritize the funds.
Richmond city leaders have finally approved a budget for the upcoming fiscal year, but not everyone is happy about it. The decision to approve Richmond Virtual Academy is now in school leaders' hands. Mayor Danny Avula applauded the new $3.4 billion budget and highlighted the historic $257 million investment in Richmond Public Schools. RVA is currently budgeted at $3.2 million, less than 1% of the overall budget. Adam Rose is a parent and advocate for RVA. He says the news is disappointing and a reflection of the school district's priorities.
I find that deeply concerning that a sitting superintendent would not be advocating for additional funding, would be going against the wishes of the board, and also seeking to undermine and discount the lived experiences of the RVA students and teachers and families.
School officials say families are welcome to explore virtual Virginia options, but believe they have the support, curriculum, and offerings to meet all families' needs across the school district. At tonight's school board meeting, several Richmond parents and students spoke out about changes to the virtual academy. And as we've reported, parents with students with special needs say they rely on this program to provide the best education for their kid.
I stand before you to say that this school is needed. It will, if they're not there, it'll probably increase suspension, absence, dropouts. We don't need a setback. We want a comeback at that time. There is no need to shut this school down. And I'm not sure how that happened, saying that we don't really need the money with a 6-2 vote.
School board leaders say they will work with parents to find a solution, and we will keep you updated. Last night, several Richmonders protested funding for flock security cameras. Protesters saying the cameras are more about surveillance than safety. To find out how much money is going toward flock, watch this story on our website, WRIC.com, or on our app, WRIC Plus. New details tonight. Changes are coming to the Dulles International Airport in D.C. A new proposal would dramatically speed up already established renovation timelines with more expansion in only 8 years. By year 2034, the renovation includes getting rid of old mobile lounges and extending the Aero train to all concourses underground. The question is, who's going to pay for it?
At this point, the financial plan that was given to airlines is mostly new debt, about 20 billion of debt, and then about 2 billion in airport fees. There's no federal government contribution at the moment.
That's subject to change, and President Donald Trump has repeatedly said Dulles needs to be redone. For now, some experts are saying the traffic and construction challenges might outweigh the benefits of a speedy process. Richmond International Airport is also undergoing some renovations to the tune of more than $200 million. For the details, find this article on our website, WRIC.com. The Chief Judge of Richmond is ordering City Council to renovate the 48-year-old courthouse downtown. She cites state code that the city has to provide a suitable space and that the courthouse doesn't cut it. Every member of City Council is named and the order is signed off by Judge Jacqueline McClenney. She writes the building is, quote, insecure, out of repair, and otherwise poses a danger to the health, welfare, and safety of court employees and the public, end quote. In the fiscal year 27 budget, $15.6 million has been set aside for short-term repairs like roof leaks and plumbing. A plan for the long-term renovations Judge McClenney is asking for has not been made. Still ahead here on 8 News at 11. Questions still circulating about hantavirus as U.S. passengers remain quarantined on a luxury cruise. Tonight, how Virginia and Maryland leaders are reacting as cases pop up across the DMV. The latest now with U.S. passengers from that luxury cruise ship now in quarantine. We're hearing from World Health officials on the state of the hantavirus outbreak. Welcome back to 8 News at 11. I'm Heather Hope. So far, after people from 23 countries evacuated the ship, there have been 11 reported cases worldwide. 3 people have died. For those who may be affected, the WHO is recommending a 42-day quarantine. Keyword recommending. In the U.S., a total of 18 passengers are being assessed. 2 people in Atlanta, including 1 with symptoms who tested negative, and 16 passengers, including the first American to test positive at the University of Nebraska Medical Center.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people.
They're treating us really, really well here, so I can't ask for anything more than that.
People in at least 8 states are being monitored. Most recently, Maryland confirmed 2 residents were being monitored after being on a plane with a cruise ship passenger who later tested positive. The Maryland Department of Health said The 2 residents with potential exposures were not passengers on the cruise ship, and the potential exposure occurred during air travel abroad. In Virginia, the Department of Health there said several days ago, the Virginia traveler got off the cruise ship before the hantavirus outbreak was identified. They said this person has gone home, now also under monitoring, along with 18 others nationwide.
We're looking to see if any of those individuals develop symptoms, and if they do develop symptoms, how do they progress, and who else have they exposed, or who else have they been in contact with. So it's wait and watch. We also know that it's not highly transmissible. We also know that the incubation period that we have to watch individuals is much longer.
The Andes strain of the hantavirus can be transmitted person to person, but CDC officials say that's rare.